Oh, each end step. That's so good. That's so good. I thought it was just the one end step. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. King of the Slugs, Grixis Reanimator, red, black, and blue. A very merry mid-range deck. And we've got some really cool cards like the Hullbreaker Horror, Toxrill, the, I don't even know what the full name is, the Slug Baby, and even Xanathar in deck as well. We're bringing them all back from the grave and basically just taking control of the match if our opponent can't stabilize before us. It's a great time. We're going to break down the deck list, talk about the strategies, the synergies, showcase all of that within one of the funnest matches that I've encountered recently. And I did go out of my way to snag it. It's not something that I was meaning to record for YouTube, but I just couldn't pass it up. So you guys have some really special content coming your way today. Buckle up, get ready, and let's take a look at the deck list. King of the Slugs is a 60-card standard best of 1 Crimson Vow deck with a 3.6 average mana value, 24 non-creatures to our 12 creatures, and 24 land in the build here. It's Grixis, blue, black, and red. We have all of the land for consistency's sake. Quite expensive, I know. Sorry. Land is a good way to start with your wildcards, though. And then it makes the other decks you play more viable always, right? And you can play more variety of decks as well. However, let's just talk about this deck. We have Toxrill, the Corrosive, for 7 mana, a 7/7, and at the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them, and whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter on it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. We can pay 2 to sacrifice a slug, drawing ourselves a card at instant speed, which is quite nice. So we'll be bringing this back from the grave. We also have the Hullbreaker Horror, in which we can bring back from the grave. It's a 7 mana, 7/8 with flash, cannot be countered, and whenever you cast a spell, choose 1. Cast not this spell, whenever you cast a spell on top of it. Either return target spell to its owner's hand or a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, which is really, really good. And then finally, Xanathar, Guild Kingpin for 6 mana, 5/6, and at the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. Until the end of turn, that player can't cast spells. You may look at the top card of their library at any time, and you may play the top card of their library, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell, right? So this is really, really cool as well. Our recursion spells, Carter's Vicious Return, and Return Upon the Tide. Tide can be foretold for 4, which is nice, and then the return is a saga in which we can sacrifice a creature to deal 3 damage to any target. We have the Shambling Ghast, which will either do -1/-1, 4 damage to a target, or creating that treasure token, which is quite nice. Discarding a card, one of our creatures, and then finally return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until your next turn, in which case it won't need haste because the summoning sickness is gone, right? So the nice thing here is we can play the horror from our grave and hold mana up, right? We don't have to play it on our opponent's end step, hoping that they're tapped without instant speed removal to kill the horror. It comes out on itself through the return. We still have, probably 5 mana untapped at this point, at least. Could be 6. And that's great, because now if our opponent casts removal on the horror, well, we cast something on top, put it back to your hand, whatever it happens to be, right? Really cool. We can even bounce the horror back to our, you never know where these play lines go, of course. So this is nice, and that allows us to play and protect it, which is really cool. We can also bring back the Kingpin and the Corrosive as well when the time is right. If it's an aggro deck, I really do like the Corrosive, depending on how low they are to the ground. If we can start wiping their creatures, it's our first go-to. On that note, we also have 4 copies of Burn Down the House, 5 damage to each creature. It will not kill it'll kill the slugs, but it won't kill the Toxrill, and it will not kill the horror, and it will not kill the Kingpin, which is really nice, and probably killing everything else that our opponent has. We can also make the Devils, which is nice. So lots of removal within the build, not only Toxrill's -1/-1s, but Burn Down the House is there as well, as Cinderclasm. Instant speed for 2, 1 damage to each creature. If it was kicked, 2 damage to each creature instead, which is really nice just to control those aggro matchups. Fading Hope to bounce, keep us alive. Otherworldly Gaze will allow us to put the creatures into the grave, which is really cool. And Prismari Command will do the same, creating an artifact so we can ramp. Drawing 2, discarding 2 as our primary uses for it. And, you know, that's going to help us get these into the grave for Return Upon the Tide. Of course, Vicious Return has the discard built within it, which is quite nice as well. We have the sideboards here. We were at once upon a time using Divide by Zero, in which we've dropped now, so don't even worry about that sideboard, but I have to, because if I don't show it, you guys are like, what's in the sideboard? What's on the sideboard? It's just in case I was using Divide, as it's a typical lesson sideboard, and we're using Mercurial Transformation in a different build because we're copying Octopuses, Leviathans, and Krakens, but that's going to be in a different video. Shh! Don't tell anyone. I bet you guys already know what it is. So this was King of the Slugs. I hope you guys enjoyed today's match. I know I certainly did. Make sure to like the video to show your support. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more great content like this. And most importantly, kick back and enjoy. See if that has volume in it. No music, so it works. Oh, shit. That fucks it up, though. I'll need that back later. That's fine. Sorry, opponent. Just, sometimes it doesn't work, and it's frustrating. But it is working, so I like that. So that means we can jam tunes and just play. Cheers. Thanks for the support. I mean, we're fine, right? This is okay. We draw, discard, make the treasure. Throw the land for now. Good start. We'll get there, we'll get there. 3 cards in their hand only, right? That's not too bad. Ranger class is really good with the Moondancer, because you can scry lands off of the top with the life gain. It's really good. Free ass motherfucker. That's funny. I like it. It's really good. This is brutal. This is absolutely disgusting. We can bounce. We have a Fading Hope, so it's fine. This is the best feeling match so far. We're still gonna have to deal with this Dancer somehow. Like, I need to bounce the Righteous Valkyrie. I mean, we could just play out their deck. We're fine, I think. See how cool a Rangers class is, Mike? Because they're gaining life, scrying the land off of the top, continuing to play creatures, continuing to gain life, and it's just like a really, really cool process. So the Moon Dancer with the fully leveled Rangers class is just like absolutely bonkers. It's really good. Huh? I think my opponents lost their mind. We can't bounce. Oh, no. No, we still can't bounce. We have to take 6. I mean, we could do this right now. This cripples them. Whoops. We should have played the Shambling Gas first and sacked that for damage. Doesn't matter. Hit the blocker. Fine. A camping chair. Nice, 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 nice. Very classy. I like that. Moving is great. Very fun. Especially when cross-country. My god. You gotta do that bitch in one trip, eh? It's like when you're packing all the grocery bags in. It's like... just putting those bags to their limits. It's like, you've never lifted this much weight in your whole life, but somehow you're able to carry like 200 pounds of groceries. Fucking one load, baby, let's go. So as long as I don't grab Trample. One load, baby. Yeah. Might be a little premature. It's good, man. It's allowed them to keep going. We would have won if they didn't have it. I guess we just need the Hull Breaker. We set a stop so we can gaze. But we already have a slug there, so... We might want the Hullbreaker, though. Oh! Shouldn't this have triggered? Shouldn't that have triggered into... Oh, we're not on our draw step yet. I see. And now it triggers. We're just dead in the air, hey? I guess we could have tried to play off the top of their grave to gain life. That's probably a misplay. Right, I think we fucked that up. Right, we should have just played their creatures and played the same game. Because now they just have lethal. Well, I mean... Potentially. $25. I guess next turn we definitely have to do that. We could have got the Innkeeper, though. Like, we should have definitely played on the top of theirs. This is nice, and it will eventually pay off. So maybe it's good to have out there early. We need that fucking Hullbreaker Horror. We're gonna set our stop again. Oh, each end step. That's so good. That's so good. I thought it was just the one end step. I'll take that burn down the house. We would have to block with something, though. But we're dead if we don't. I mean, getting rid of the flyers is nice. Oh, they can give that fucking thing indestructible. Shit! I forgot about the escort. My bad. We can still -3 it. But it's not enough, though. We just got their wild shape as well. which we are forced to cast. They gain a ton of life. We have to cast the Wild Shape. We can't give it to them. They're down to 25. That's all 4 of them. What the fuck? I have no way to win this match other than just milling themselves. They have no more wild shapes. I almost showed my dick. We want to win this hummus. Yo. Eventually. I don't want them to pop off too hard. I think this is probably all lands, though. I mean, 27 lands is too many, but I guarantee you most of them are lands. And we don't want to give them the Veteran ever because it has flying. We take the draw off the Slug as a chump blocker. It has some as prime. Oh my god, we win. Easy. It's never been so easy, ladies and gentlemen. We just gained all of the life. All of the life. Oh, I thought that was their last wild shape, but I guess this one must be. I guess we can probably smash. We have enough chump blockers. Woo! Crazy time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Oh my gosh. We could have let them just hit us too. Good game. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. Xanathar did so much work that game. Wow. Woof. Typically, not your regular footage, as I was just on Twitch reporting in La La Land. Probably confusing all of you guys here on YouTube today, as I think I was yelling at Mike the whole time. Mike's like, why is Ranger's class in this deck? It's not good. And, well, it is really cool with the Scry ability to get those lands off the top. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the day-to-day Twitch, I am literally on Twitch every single day for hours, brewing new decks, testing different things, and then eventually recording this YouTube content. So you guys get to see a little bit of behind the scenes, right? The decks that don't make it typically is the difference between the two different content streams, and you know, the feel's a little bit different as well. You know, as you probably picked up in this video, engaging with chat throughout the video more so than discussing and describing the playlines, which is typically what I really focus on for YouTube, just to help educate people to up their game, right? So they can be better players and enjoy the matches, because it's always more fun to win, right? So yeah, just kind of felt the need to share this match today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think we're going to be back, maybe not with this deck, but maybe with a Sultai variant. And, you know, Carter's Vicious Return is cool and all, but what if it gets removed, right? What if they're removing this 4-drop? It happens, and then, you know, there goes our recursion. So I think it's a fun jank deck, and it can win in specific matchups, but Return Upon the Tide might be more consistent if we're looking to be competitive. And now, because of this, we may not need to include red. We should be free potentially to just include green, and that could be nice. We'll have to wait and see, though. That's going to be another build by the grace of Maya and my dirty sock. Have a magical day, you guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video to show that support and help the channel's algorithm. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any great content, and maybe even become a Patreon supporter. Cheers, have a magical day, and we'll see you soon in the next.